Went with the normal difficulty, huh? That'd be my pick for a first playthrough.
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice.
DeVries sure has some cheek putting the Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything she's done.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. Seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I... While I don't understand all of it, I understand, and I am the only one in a position to act upon it. Though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have... But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous... I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky.
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? How can you be so even-tempered about this? I know you didn't know her like I did. Like I thought I did, but she betrayed us. She killed our friends, Commander. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. Somewhat embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figure my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangulum. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. The Order of the Ascent is just another sect of the Order of Scientific Inquiry. The Grand Plan and all that used to be part of the Protectorate before their big falling out. Believe they can predict the future or some such, but nice plan-abiding folks don't kill for the betterment of their cause. I can't believe the Order plotted our murder. But 10 years ago, I would have said, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Maybe. She seemed tore up about the choice after the fact. Guilty. I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat. Math, science, the grand architect, void, even capital. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. No, didn't even know DeVries was alive until she brought the satellite down. Until then, what kept me going was mostly training and stubbornness. And Val. But to your point, holding someone who's wronged you accountable for their actions ain't an act of vengeance. Some might call it justice. Can't imagine a sweeter dream than putting DeVries in the ground. Right after we get answered. Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there.
You want freedom of choice. You want anti-choice.
Keep them coming.
Gonna need a bigger store. Let me guess. Gun keeps jamming, armor don't quite fit snug as you like. State your division and I'll get you outfitted. Quick and proper, or your next provision's free. Thought these old factories caught a whiff of decrepitude percolating in the air. I'd explain it then. As Chief Replenishment Officer, it's my privileged duty to furnish our brave troops with all of their wartime essentials. You could say I put the ration in liberation. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. No one here but you, me, and several tons of well-oiled good eye. Though I'd say they're better than nice. Got more armor than a Hammerclaw, but better flight handling than the old clunkers we used to stock. If things had turned out differently, might be someone else standing here, while I'd be off piloting one of those beauties. Don't have the aptitude for flight, apparently. But this role suits me fine. I like the upward mobility, in the metaphorical business sense, I mean. Already got the bug, huh? Huh. All right, come on. Let's give you a quick tour. She's a beauty up close, ain't she? More cylinders than you can count powering her engines. She uses her shape to drop like a stone during landing. Counters headwinds pretty well, too. Stand here all day, just admiring. And over there, you see, the fuselage has been modified to endure the pressure of repeated entries, which is... oh, but listen to me blathering on. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. As a friendly reminder, all sales are final, especially ammunition.
If you're not a go-getter, then go away.
The target's not on the ground, Rainey Lindell, be so kind as to remind us all what the first rule of the range is.
Guns are weapons, not toys.
And do we aim weapons at colleagues or at our own unprotected upper stories, even in jest? Hint, we do not. The soldiers before you are former Protectorate subjects, mainly of the farming variety. No knowledge of combat. Scarce experience wielding anything deadlier than a wrench. They are accustomed to being told what to do, when to do it, and even how to think. A lifetime of habitual servitude is not broken in a day. I'm only responsible for familiarizing them with the weapons they will come to rely on in future. However, having observed them on the range, they fail every hurdle, but keep getting back up. I'd say that speaks to an admirable resilience. Or stupidity. Difficult to say which. I'm not one to idle in the path of a good faith effort to accelerate education. The faster we can get more soldiers in the field, the better. There's just one problem. I don't know you. So, respectfully, I must ask, what do you feel qualifies you to give instruction to my recruits?
What? Oh, sure thing. The commander here is an experienced Deadeye and a natural leader. If you're looking for someone to deposit a few pearls of wisdom, I guarantee you'll not find better.
Much as I'm inclined to trust the word of your compatriot, I still expect you to advocate for yourself. You're the one who wishes to speak with my recruits, after all, not him. You do have a certain confidence about you that is presently absent in these recruits. Very well, I'll allow you to speak with them. Don't make me regret this. Attention trainees, guns down. That means you too, Simpson. We have a guest who has a few words to share.
You have something to say to us? Wait, I know this one. Low overhead and competitive prices. Sure do. Here at Auntie's Choice, we serve Auntie best when we serve ourselves first.
Very good, Lindell. Someone has been reading their welcome materials.
Front to back, sir.
Yes, and a corporate ladder means there's always somewhere greater to reach. Now, if Auntie's faith in you is not misplaced, then prove it, trainees! Weapons at the ready! And fire! Well done, trainees! Well done! It appears your words have had their intended effect. Oh, thank law. The trainees seem quite taken with you, too. As I suspect they would riot if I let you leave without a reward. Please, accept this revolver with Auntie's thanks. Plan willing, I will have as much success deploying your wisdom with my next batch of recruits.
Go consume like a good consumer.
Business is always good. What do you need this time? Now there's an odd request. If you've got queries about my stock, I'm sure I could answer them for you. Wait one rapt gone moment. Did Miss Galloway put you up to this? She asked me for terminal access not even a fortnight ago. I'd call it coincidence if it didn't feel so much like conspiracy. I can't for the life of me adduce a reason as to why a greenhouse manager would be interested in military inventory. What kind of plants are we growing in there? All the while, I thought they were growing healthy little comestibles. They were planting the seeds for psychological warfare. Literally. Shows what I know. All right. Ms. Galloway can have access, but only because I believe in not biting the hand that feeds. Or, in this case, grows. Keycard to access the terminals on the boxes right outside my stores there. Feel free to nab it. What do you need this time?
Hello again. You get that inventory issue sorted? How grand. That officially mops up the last of the mess from the buffoons that came before me. And, as promised, my good fortune is also your good fortune. And while this might be a tad fewer bits than you were hoping for, remember, you've also made allies that you'll find all across Arcadia. Just keep watching for paintings of a stylish yellow rose with a split black circle near the middle. Like the one you passed on your way in. Find that rose, and you find Sub Rosa.
These incessant jingles over the loudspeaker.
Whether it's an orifice or a face, Auntie's Choice makes a cream for it.
No, Jackson, don't!
Don't fret. With these boots, I can fly.
Hal? Are you breathing? Say something! Oh, law. I can't believe he jumped that way.
Sir, I know this isn't the time, but are they gonna put us to the gallows for this?
What? No. That ain't how we operate in Auntie's Choice, Liza. We might be looking at a pretty fierce demotion for losing half our workforce and getting stuck up here, though.
Demotion to fertilizer?
No. Now cease your jawing. This ain't the time. Hey, you! You down there! Would you mind checking on our fellow? Might he have survived the fall? He thought those boots would make him fly, but they really just allowed the user to jump repeatedly. Unless their downward velocity is too great. If so, well, you see what happens. Not nearly as upset as we are. We've been stuck atop this machine since Ida, one of our new Protectorate acquisitions, had her gray matter scrambled by the height, jumped down, and landed right in its gears. I can't fathom no sensible motive. She joined us shortly after Auntie liberated her with the freedom of meritocracy, and she seemed happy enough.
Were you not listening? She said she'd always be a loyal subject. It was part of the endless inculcation we endured in the Protectorate. It can prove insurmountable for some.
The notion that she'd sacrifice herself, even after seeing the vast possibilities in staying alive and climbing the corporate ladder, it's just impossible to cognize. There ain't no way off this platform besides jumping, and you've seen how that ends. But you being down there makes you uniquely qualified to help us. The reason Jackson tried using those plasma thruster boots was to gather a piece of machinery we'd spotted on a little table halfway up the spire.
It's a drive overloader. If we install it, we can push the platform's arm hard enough to... well, to grind old Ida out of the gears.
Though the power of that overloader will deluge the system and, well, overload the drive and burn it out all permanent-like. But desperate times and all that.
So if you were to use them boots to bound up the spire and deliver the overloader to us, we'd avoid the tragic fate of our two former cohorts.
Exactly! Because he had no idea how science works and thought the word thrusters meant he could fly. So, when I told him to jump, he opted for open air instead of where I told him to go. They're experimental. We'd not laid eyes on them before, but the data we found with them says they were actually designed to let people hop their way up the spire. If you activate the plasma thrusters when you're already airbound, they could give you a fair bit of extra boost. It should let you turn a quick hop into a surprisingly grand vault.
Thank the Sovereign... thank you, stranger. We are eagerly anticipating a long life utterly absent of starvation.
Auntie's Choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Jaw.
People think I've been gone a while. How'd it go? Tell me you got good news. Why, that's terrible. But you said you have the schematics? I'll take those. What? Sovereign's finest potato corollary peeler? This was supposed to be a guaranteed bestseller. Who in their right mind would... Jackson, you idiot! Ah! It's a good thing he's dead, because if he wasn't, I'd kill him! There's no... God damn it! I'm never getting that promotion. This was supposed to be my easy path to a promotion. Must be something I can do to salvage this. Tell me, did you come across any other advanced protectorate technology while you were there? Anything more, well, easily marketable? Personal thrusters? No one would ever want such preposterous things. I'd be laughed out of recreant reclamation. Imagine, jumping about like a sprog. Ridiculous. Well, here's all I can spare in regards to your compensation. Try not to spend it all in one place. It's supposed to be categorically bad for commerce. In the unlikely event things somehow pan out and I get that big promotion, I'll see you're taken care of. Until then, take care.
Might I have a word, Commander?
And she'll give you a facial spritz.
Elysium Retabulum. They're found in bandages and burn tinctures. If you don't have that drive overloader, ascending may be a waste.
That's it? It was that? That was some impressive climbing. Poor Jackson could have learned a thing or two from you. Starting with the right direction to jump, I suppose. Wonderful. Get us down, and I'll happily compensate you in accordance with standard Auntie's Choice urgently improvised extortive standards. Oh, thank the law. I never thought of myself as a vertiginous sort, but being trapped 100 meters in the air will make you reconsider.
I mirror that sentiment, to be certain. In fact, Auntie will have to pay me triple if heights are to be involved. And isn't it grand to be in a system that allows me that freedom?
I agree with Liza. I'm inclined to keep a few paces from farming equipment from now on. Here's your reward for evacuating us with all our parts intact. I perhaps ain't as awash in currency as I'd prefer, so you can have my helmet as well. It was useful for identifying crops we'd missed in our harvest. But to be honest, I'd like a little distance from plants for a spell.
Executive skill building continues. Well, at least for me. Can't speak for my inept colleagues. Today's task, leverage teamwork and leadership to navigate a risky landscape blindfolded.
Which you apparently interpreted as just shout at everyone.
It's called delegating. At least I participated, Cobb.
I told you, I got a bad scrumpox flare-up.
Of course, I served as leader of this activity. A thankless job. Cohorts tripping all over. Sprains, blunt force trauma.
I know I've been pushing to find DeVries, so this might seem a bit of a left turn, but void it. I'm just gonna ask. Got an old friend here on the island. The doctor who patched me up after Horizon Point. Ex-protectorate, a good man. Tracked on the Westport a short time ago, but never got up the nerve to visit. Reckon we could drop by and pay him a visit. Brief one, of course. Not sure he'd still consider me such, but that's part and parcel of the reason I want to see him. I had some bad years on my own. Now with you here being part of a team, this might sound a mite soppy, but I feel like I could be a proper agent again. That starts with writing accounts. This friend of mine, Zebulon Tran, I let him down. And I've been chewing on that live wire for a while. Too long, maybe. Much as I might love to jaw about that special interest of mine, this business with Zeb's gotta come first. After I recovered from Horizon Point, Zeb and I ran together for a spell, doing what we could to help folks in difficult spots. Fighting protectorate tyranny in small ways. Too small for Zeb, as it turned out. He was unhappy before I showed up, and after, well, all my directorate talk fired him up even more. I had my orders. I was to stay low. Couldn't let the Protectorate catch wind of an Earth Directorate agent in its midst. But Zeb, he kept pushing to take more extreme action. Wasn't like I didn't want to take things farther, hit the Protectorate where it hurt. But I still had my cover to think of too. I couldn't risk disrupting the mission. I'd feel better about that commendation if things hadn't turned out as they did. We worked hard, but the Protectorate's arbiters and sentinels worked harder. Often than not, our help only made targets of the folks whose lives we were trying to improve. Didn't matter what we did. Arcadia was still caught under the Protectorate's boot. Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself too. Anyway, things weren't good. Zeb and I couldn't find the rhythm we had before. We were arguing every day. Eventually, cutting ties just seemed for the best. Clean like. Only later I learned Zeb hadn't given up the struggle like I assumed he would. He got to stay in mental refreshment for his trouble. That's the last I heard of him, till recent. Much appreciated, Commander. Promise, I won't be making a habit of pulling skeletons out of my closet. Westport's on the east side of the island. I tracked Zeb to somewhere on its outskirts, but never got up the nerve to visit before now. We ought to start there. to, but I'm not ready.
Sequencing attack strategies.
Can't believe some other protectorate pol-
A lot of fresh blood in the talent pool around here.
She'll give you a facial spritz.
What's the fastest way to climb the portrait ladder?
Ask them defectors if they miss anything about Protectorate life.
10 bits, they said community.
Yep.
Community.
Let's keep your lamps lit for wildlife.
Wildlife. Familiar classification of Raptidon. Detected ahead.
I swear that wasn't planned.
We're closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us. Her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she... well, she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say.
For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter, and she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778.
That is Agent DeVries's identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it. The Order used to be part of the Protectorate. For most of my life, they seemed one and the same. But soon after the invasion, the Order renounced them as no longer fit to lead. They said they'd lost their way, and worse, were in violation of the grand plan. Suddenly, something we'd been told was the ultimate truth our whole life was deemed heresy. We were told to believe in the paradigm instead, which seemed an awful lot like the same plan, worded in a way that made the Protectorate themselves the ultimate truth. We are trained from birth to believe anything they tell us. When the alternatives are death or having them forcibly recalibrate your gray matter, it is surprisingly easy. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. Then they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. I understand. Perhaps it actually is for the best. I truly cannot say.
Commander. Feels good to be back in the South, don't it, Val? Protective patrols. You remember that?
Error. Memory not found.
Ah, well.
Oh, what's this? Non-protectorate personnel just sauntering up onto my porch, free as they please. Admit I'm accustomed to a higher standard of precaution. State your purpose, outsider, or exit yon way you came. Well, that all sounds rather exciting, like something out of an Aetherwave serial, which I've watched only for official research purposes, of course. Most in the Protectorate don't know what the Earth Directorate is, you know. Suspect you've received a few blank stares if you've mentioned it afore. Anyhow, you travel freely. I'll forgo appealing to your sense of duty, as those outside the Protectorate lack such motivating principles. I presume you accept payment for services? In my role, I compile material providing special insight on other colonies. Items prohibited to others, news logs, serials, and the like. During recent troubles, unsavory elements removed certain items from my old office. Among them, a series which took considerable time to assemble. Oh, to the point then. A full set of Science Adventures Quarterly has been sold to various unknown parties across the island. I put it to you to find them. Once you have one of the 10 periodicals in hand, I will trade you for rarities and bits. Stay true, outsider.
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander. Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's going untouched by this boy.
Lab-related activities.
I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day of the week.
As tough as you thought. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed. No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. That obvious, huh? Yeah, I was hoping there'd be something worth harvesting. Something worth the trouble of killing the poor creature. But hope is the father of disappointment. Yeah? Well, I'm Trooper Silong. Inez, former combat medic, Enhanced Soldier Division. Now just a menial troubleshooter who looks to have gotten her job swept out from under her. They're always counting me out. Every single one of them. And now, they ain't even letting me finish the jobs they send me on. Kinda making it hard to prove myself here. And this rep didn't even have anything that could help my graft. This whole thing's a wash. Sick of it. I know, I ain't blaming you. That's part of climbing the ladder. Ain't but one rung at the bottom, and everyone's keen to get a foothold. Can't exactly afford to be picky about the jobs that come my way neither. Considering my condition, options are limited. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Sorry. Guess I'm just used to folks staring real hard and then steering clear. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-starter. Let me put it this way. If I was already on the bottom rung, this knocks me clean off and buries me in sand. But I started from nothing before. I could do it again. Maybe. Get the feeling you will. Anyhow, think I'll return to Fairfield to have a little chat with Milver Street. Good luck in there. Mind the raps.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's Choice.
Cocked and loaded. Let's get the signal.
Entering a confrontational state.
got a distraction for you.
can't spell heinous ascetic without Anti's choice.
Ah, hell. I've stood this post so many times I could do it.
You ever find yourself too much disposable income? I got plenty of ideas on how to dispose.
Commander, there is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you.
I don't much appreciate you undermining my work, Minister.
Bad Trooper Sealong, no mind. The individuality encouraged by Auntie's choice sometimes inspires employees to speak out of turn. How has your progress been? Have you acquired what we discussed? Excellent! At least that someone in my employ can be relied upon. Here, have one of my finest suits as a token of thanks. May it aid in your capture of hearts and minds.
Again, you gave away my job and told my replacement to send me home. That don't make me wayward, and it sure as shit don't make me unreliable. If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now.
You mean grant preferential treatment to a subpar contractor? And I suppose the bits for such a procedure shall simply manifest from the ether?
And if I die or leave, how do you reckon failure to retain an enhanced soldier would look to upper management, huh?
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
It most assuredly is not good for her. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say. But Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. And you, I got a proposition for you. Come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision. Most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. The acquisition of this information is but the first part of my plan to bring our foes into the fold and to ensure my future. The second is my operation in Westport. I should have known better than to try to bait an individual as savvy as yourself. I shall speak openly then. Bringing Westport to heel will deliver me not only my future, but the tools to aid you in your endeavor to enter the Vox station. Verily, on to business. I've a kit of supplies to aid you, items to cajole or to dissuade. Sabotage the town or sway the citizenry, the choice is yours. Should pose no trouble for a go-getter like you. Perhaps. The kit contains a wide variety of tools, propaganda, equipment, and more than a few confectionaries. Some items may serve as honey, swaying the naysayers to our side. Others are blunt implements, crippling infrastructure to force the refugees toward Fairfield. Slather on a bit of elbow grease and you'll certainly succeed. I'm sure there are kindred spirits in Westport. No one wholly resists Auntie. Westport represents a challenge. The challenge presented by the majority of the Protectorate. Fairfield citizenry were given ample incentive to fold, for they could see the freedom we offer firsthand. But the people of Westport are stubborn enough to risk death for their ideals and cannot be swayed by the lights of Fairfield. If I can convert them, I can convert anyone. Excellent. Here's the kit. Advertisement tapes, ambidextrine assorted stimulants, free samples of Purple Berry Crunch, everything you need to wage war on the undecided mind. With that, I shall mark the locale. Begin with the vigilant Hogarth. Motivate him to depart, and his subjects will trot in file behind him woolly cow-like. Now, I'm sure you've asked yourself, for a task so involved, shall the reward be worthwhile? Well, wonder no longer. For the completion of this deed, I'm prepared to offer you an exact replica of my one-of-a-kind, limited production, gentle person's Oxonian. Then consider yourself officially deputized in the war to further innovation and the free market. Be forewarned. I can only guess at the needs of the denizens of Westport. You must engage with them, gauge their situation. Only then can you motivate them adequately. Do I look like Officer Carr to you? Guns.
All done in there? Was hoping we could chat.
What is it? Make it quick, yeah?
Hope that little dust up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. Got a proposition. Since I'm newly free-ranged, and you're free-ranged yourself, thinking we ought to team up. You're going places. I want to go too. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's Choice. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with Grafts for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
This much of a crowd's not likely to keep a low profile. Someone ought to head back to mind the ship.
Acknowledged.
After you.